For more, News Nation political contributor Kurt Bardella. He joins us now. Kurt, good to have you. Always great to see you. So, as we look at this through a political lens, we're of course looking ahead to the midterms. We know the economy is going to likely be the biggest predictor in the outcome of these elections. We have some time on the clock here. What do you see as the greatest net effect of these tariff moves and how it's set to impact voter confidence when we talk about these elections in November?
I think it's just a reminder to the American people that, like, this, for better or worse, is Donald Trump's economy, that it is an economy of his own making. When you start doing things by executive fiat, good, bad, or indifferent, the results and the consequences are yours to own. The shtick that he pulled for most of last year, blaming Joe Biden and the terrible Democrats, that's not going to work anymore because voters are seeing day in and day out him take unilateral actions with his name and his signature on them. And he says one thing, he'll say it again at the State of the Union. The economy's going to be great. These tariffs are going to make billions and billions of dollars. The economy's going to be booming like never before. Everybody wants to be like America. But the reality is nobody's feeling it in their pocketbook. The everyday Americans and the working families in this country are seeing that things are going up in price. They have less money to work with than they did a year or two ago. And the figures that you just showed on the screen there kind of tell that story. GDP will go down. It's going to have a tremendous impact on jobs. It's going to have nothing but really a negative impact on our economy overall. Like, it is the Donald Trump economy.
Well, I certainly agree that the president is going to have to own this economy come November. There is no doubt about that. Arguments being made on the flip side saying, Americans do have more money in their bank accounts. The big, beautiful bill with these tax refunds, that's going to play a major role in all of this. Now we have this new global tariff rollout. It does have a 150-day limit. What do you see as the net effect on the economy? And also, what comes after that 150 days?
Yeah, again, it's kind of like a cliffhanger, and there's a certain degree of uncertainty there. Which, again, when it comes to the economy, uncertainty is never a friend or ally of the economy or for investors. And again, we've seen time and again now with these tariffs, these companies just end up passing off the cost of those tariffs onto the consumers who end up paying the price for it. It amounts to nothing more than a tax on consumers worldwide and especially here in this country. And so I don't really see how this is going to benefit, and when we look at the midterms, Republicans and the economic message that they're going to try to craft. We have said for months now, like, it's about the economy, it's about affordability, it's about how people feel. The rhetoric coming from the White House doesn't align with how people feel about the economy. It seems very similar to the conundrum that Joe Biden and Democrats faced in 2024. And at that time, Republicans were mocking Democrats and Biden for trying to pull one over on the American people, trying to convince Americans that what they felt wasn't real, that Bidenomics and all the mockery that went with that. And here we see Donald Trump and Republicans following that same ill-fated playbook, and I can't for the life of me make sense of why.
Well, we have about 30 seconds left, but I want to ask you, Kurt, because the president has other options here than imposing this sweeping global 15% tariff for 150 days. He could also go in with a scalpel, you could say, and go in through various trade act sections in there and say, okay, we're gonna target China, for instance. And in different ways, there are constitutional moves he can make that would impact some of the biggest players. He's been talking about ripping us off. So why take this approach?
Yeah, it's kind of this one size fits all approach when in actuality, one size does not fit all. Not all tariffs are created equal. Not all countries are created equal. And not all countries have the same trading relationship that we have. So it doesn't make sense economically. It doesn't make sense from a common sense standpoint. It's just lazy. And it just shows that Trump is more interested in going for the headline, the 50% blanket, than actually with precision and thought, looking at what would make the most sense economically, what levers to push and pull. And again, ultimately, it's going to be the American people who suffer the burden of that, which is why so many governors right now are lining up, setting the White House an invoice saying, this is how much you owe our taxpayers for your Trump tariff taxes.
Mm. Well, it will be interesting to see the strategy play as we move through this time. Kurt Bardella, Kurt, great to have your thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks so much.